또 시간이 없어, 시간.
아까 나한테 말고 있는 거.
이거 하면 그때 가서 이거로 깔아.
엄마 지금 시간 없어.
없는데 내가 하면 어떻게 확실히 연습 얼마나 하냐면 너가 1시간 반밖에 시간이 없어. 연습 1시간 반밖에 못하고 이번 주는 휴일에 조금 놀았다 그래. 알았지? 후회에 있다고 조금 놀았다.
아니야, 그런 거 아니.
선생님 만약에 물어보면 가는 대로 누워서 시간 줘. 너가 딱 붙잡고 있어. 넘었다. 뭐? 8시 넘었어, 너. 엄마. 여보세요? 엄마. 유빈이. 근데 유빈이 레슨 받으려고 내가 이거 할 테니까
너무 편안하게 빛는다. 처음으로.
또 완전
나도 지금 두부 좀 편안하게 앉아서.
엄지가 똑같은 각도 있을 필요 없어서 꺾었을 때는 굉장히 바깥으로 보고 있어요. 반은 이제 아니라
Hi.
So I'm a little late today.
Thank you for changing the time.
Oh, sure, yeah. What is this again? You have an exam?
Yeah, it's like a placement
Cool.
exam.
Placement exam?
Yeah.
I see. Placement for next year?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that? What are they going to place you in?
Like honors classes and AP.
Oh, I see. So you take an exam for that?
Yeah, I have to take an exam for it.
Oh, okay. To take like APs or something, or?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. The exam's end, I guess. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you sent me a link, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me check out the book. Okay, great. Yeah, study these skills, usual. We're starting to do that middle of the note thing again, right? Starting a tiny bit late and then also not connecting quite to the next note. So yeah, really Try to do the opposite almost. I mean, a lot at the end instead of the beginning. Okay, good. Good. It's improved from last week. You know, those first 3 notes that I was talking about, right? Keep paying attention to them because they could be a little bit better still. And then the vibrato, same thing, right? Just know that that's like the danger with you all over the place, right? So, really focus on the beginning, the end. Yeah. Okay. Okay, keep going. overall, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, keep going. Double subs. I want you to try connecting a little bit more. So I still think it's like so really, really, really continuous. And you're only going the other way because you have to, right? But not because you're doing another thing. Right? So don't let the bow kind of like slow down or fade out or any of those things. Right? Yeah, thinking you're just like blowing into like an oboe. And it never stops until this goes over. Okay. And did you go down also?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Oh, like you kind of look like you finished, so but I mean you should go down also.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, it's just in a different order, right? So okay, but try going up one. Time. So even when you cross strings and when you shift, it should still be that seamless. So just because you have to move doesn't mean you get to like stop and create a pause. I mean that's sort of like the hardest part. Right? Through all those changes, that the bow doesn't stop, it doesn't lighten or anything, right? So yeah, try it just one more time. First of all, it sounds better when you do that, right? Because you want to always want to practice connecting your bow, right? And also, it's harder for your left hand to do that. You actually have to really, really know where all the notes are, right? Instead of like taking a little bit of time to like kind of find everything, right? So it's sort of like doubly important and good to do that, right? So, why don't you do that one more week? Just do the same key. See if you can't get the scale perfectly in tune. It's pretty close, right? My pressures are good, so you'll just be able to repeat those, right? And then thirds, and then learn the thirds going down. You should always learn the thirds going down. Okay. Then wait, are you still finishing up your double stop etude, or are you working on the already?
We finished our double stop etudes.
Okay, so you're doing the Gavinier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. Why don't you play that next?
I'm gonna have a lot of time to practice it. So.
Okay. As long as you can show me that you're doing like a few measures pretty well, and then you can just apply it. But yeah. Okay, so just let me see. What are you working on? I mean, if you have your entry exam, you probably studied for it, right? So yeah. Once you stay on Zoom, actually, right now. So you're basically doing everything correctly, except I want it, again, just make your scale much smoother. So instead of da, ya, ta, di, ni, so if I close my eyes and don't watch you, I shouldn't know there are any bugs. I just think you're using one bow that's like 10 miles long and you never stop, right? And then the vibrato, so again, you're vibrating only in the middle of the notes again. Right, so vibrate at the end and the beginning, right? And then I was going to say some of your scales too, but your bow holds a little bit going back to like what you used to do before, right? So you remember when I was talking about pushing and pulling, right? So the dad was always pulling like this instead of kind of like more like this, right? So like you got to let your index finger and thumb kind of like bend more on the down low. Yeah, so really feel that's flexible in there. So try to do those what breathings. Vibrato. You should never feel like your arms up. Instead of stopping that for every note. it's still not that connected, I think. The bow and the vibrato still need to connect more. Yeah, and you need to do this more too. So all of them. Yeah. Start again. Just from the beginning. Now your vibrato. So not done. Okay. Yeah. Just go around those things. It's like this one started better, but then it started a little bit turning into the same thing. Right? So again, like these notes are not challenging for you, right? So the challenge is to really loosen this and to really connect everything. Right? So I think of this as like my good habits etude. Whereas like other things like the double stops or like other things, like you're trying to acquire technique that you don't have, right? But this, I use Garbinier to basically cement your good habits. And I thought it was going to be especially good for you because I feel like your habits are still a little bit loose. Like you can do it well sometimes, right? But it's not like, it's definitely not a habit, right? It's not like you wake up and you just connect everything, right? And I want you to do that. So yeah, and so most of this book is like the same type of stuff, you know, just like slightly different context. So think about like every 2 notes is like a challenge to vibrate, connect it, right? And every 2 notes with the bows is like a pothole you might step in. So just see it as a challenge to go around that pothole every time, right? So just keep connected. Yeah, you know, again, sometimes on Zoom like the sound cuts out on me a little bit, but I can even see your bows. It's happening. It's just like it's not like this. It's like a little bit, right? And I can see it. I can see this obviously too. It's like, right. So okay. So I probably gave you what 1 page of that maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do that one again. Okay. Yeah. Let me hear your pieces. Let me hear your Bach first. Okay, I guess I'll go back over to YouTube. Okay, yeah, go ahead, play the double. Eunice, remember when I changed a bunch of your fingers so you would use your fourth finger more?
Yeah.
Right? So you need to change more of them.
Yeah.
So like on the last page, there's like a bunch of those more, right? So, because you'll have to trust me that you're making it harder by doing that. Because your hand sort of has to like reposition for that a little bit. Even though like maybe just playing that one note would be easier, like A sharp with like 1 instead of 4, right? But it's almost like shifting when you don't have to instead of just kind of like leaving your hand a little bit. Yeah. So also over time, if you that's not really a big stretch, right? Say playing F sharp, even if it's like a little bit more of like effort, but like if you keep doing that, then it'll get better and easier, right? Whereas if you keep avoiding it, then you'll sort of kind of pushing down the road, right? I'm sort of inclined actually to have you stop working on the third movement, the Quran, and then just focus on the double.
Okay.
be faster now.
Mm.
What was the last metronome mark I gave you?
We didn't practice with the metronome because I was trying to fix the notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like kind of like around like high 90s, maybe like 96 to 100 or something. But I think you should try to get it up to. Can you put your metronome on right now at like 116? I just want to see what happens. And then the other thing is, again, like this movement is exciting, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're not really playing it very exciting. And faster doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be exciting either, right? Faster is just faster. So try to have like a more excited kind of spirit inside you as you play it. Yeah. Okay, so can you try it at 160? You don't slow down so much. Like that's like changing the mood, right? Yeah. Also, the first pickup, it's not. My impression watching you do this, your shifts all needed to be a tiny bit quicker, and then a lot of them were a little bit not far enough.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, right? So just like quicker and just kind of like, go all the way, basically. So can you try that much one more time? I'm gonna write this down. So yeah, I think definitely you should be going to loops. So you can use a really tiny bow for this moment. Really tiny bow. Right? In order to be like quick enough, right? You probably have to use very, very small bow. I like to tell myself that when I'm going faster and faster, I can always use less bow. When I'm using 1 centimeter, I can use 2/3 of a centimeter. Right? I can use half it. I can use like 1/8 of a centimeter. Right? And I keep going faster and faster and faster until the bow is so small you just can't get it out at all. Right? Then I reach my limit. Right? So yeah. I would say focus on this moment. I think this is, but then obviously we're trying to get this all so you can like record it, like to written things, right? So So yeah, so I would say the exciting feeling is important too. So exciting, so faster and exciting. And then just see if you can't just clean up whatever issues you have when it starts going faster. Okay. The first half's better than the second half, right? The second half got a little bit dicier, but I think in general, yeah, the shifting, just think of it, it has to happen faster in general. And then also, yeah, you usually have to go a tiny bit further than you think, right? So, yeah. Okay. What should I play, bro? Why don't you play the third one first? And you're still practicing the second, right?
We didn't have time to practice the second movement this week.
Oh, okay. So you did not practice the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. But still in general you are?
Yeah.
Like we're not done with it, right? So, okay. And then did you go a little further in the last one, or are you still going up to that same page?
I went a little bit, but
Okay. Did you get to those next tenths?
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the second to last page?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, just play from the beginning of the movement until there. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So the sounds you're unhappy with, where is the blame?
So can you say that again?
Sorry, what was it?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Oh, you okay. The sounds you did not like, assuming there were some, right? That didn't sound amazing and perfect, right? So where is the blame for that? What should you think about more? Like, what's the reason for the sounds you didn't like, and how would you correct it?
Like my fingers hitting the other string, and my bow not being fast enough.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's the fingers not touching the other string. Sometimes it's just the fingers that have to be down or not down. Right? If you're playing like 1-3 on these two strings, like 1 and 3 just have to be down enough to make a good sound. Right? So you have to do both. That's kind of the difficulty of it, right? That's like, so it's like, yeah, like 3, 4 in the beginning, right? Cannot touch the E string, but then they also have to be down, right? They could be like super over this, but then it gets harder and harder to put your fingers down, right? So I think more of it was actually your fingers just not being down, more than touching the wrong strings. So yeah, and the fifth too is covering both notes of the fifth. So yeah, but the bow was fine for the most part. It could be a little bit faster, yes, just to be more exciting, not to sound better, right? So okay, start again. a lot better. When you have long notes vibrate all the way through. Or whatnot. Yeah. Okay, but keep one. But that's just gonna happen so many times. Yeah. Okay, keep one. was it? I thought you went to the end of this page.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, is this the end page?
I went on to the next page too.
Okay. Okay, can you keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say two things, which I'm going to have you go back and do anyway. So, the main one is that when you have really short notes, right? Like da 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 dee da 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 or da da da, still trying to make a better sound on those. So think about if you were just playing one note, like an open E, dun, and it's really short, what would you do to make that sound good? Like you wouldn't dig in too much, right? You don't want to scratch too much. Maybe just a tiny bite, but just enough, right? And then you sort of like pull through like the note nicely, and then you sort of like release it, right? So da 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 dee da 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 dee yum yum, right? So try to treat all the short notes like that too, right? It's a little bit like could ring more, I would say. Okay, right. So keep going. I see. So you've like learned it kind of. So okay. So I think actually the pages that we work on in your lesson are really much better, you know. And then you sort of let the other one slide a little bit, though, right? It's like the first two pages, right, are a little bit not as good as they were at their best before, right? So, so you know, it is important to try to maintain everything, right? So. Yeah, you know, like when you first read through a piece or you learn it for a couple weeks, it's like it's all uneven, right? So you try to like improve like the bad parts, but then it's like you still make sure the pretty good parts stay pretty good, right? Like that takes time also, right? So so just make sure whatever time you have that it at least gets spread around a bit, right? So okay, can we try the second page? Yeah. So I want to hear those like shorter notes with more quality, you know. And then whenever you have melodies, like this one that you just played, right? Same thing. Like connect with your bow, and connect with your vibrato. Yeah, because especially when you're a little bit less familiar or less like really comfortable with it, it gets more and more, right? Yeah, and when you have da 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 dee da da da, whether it's down bow or up bow, double stop, triple stop, you know, whatever it is, all those short notes really should like ring a lot. Yeah. So okay, just go from the second page again. This is already much better, much better. So, but you know, when you alternate this in the open string, you're playing the wrong string. You're playing the A string, but it's the D string. And then I remember you kept doing that all the way through the next section. All right, so when you're alternating with the tenths and everything, it's like you have to go all the way down to the D string every time. Yeah, but do it again. That's really good. I mean, that's, yeah, try to think the whole movement, basically, right? Like, be careful in that, caring about what your bow is doing, basically, right? So, yeah, get one more time. Use, believe it or not, I think the tenths are pretty good with your left hand, but you need to use more and more bow as you get higher. Right? You tone more and more. And then make sure the tone, especially on the D string, that open D, I think that's the note that sounds the worst, actually. Right? So 2 strings here, and then 1 string here. 2, 1, 2, 1. But every time you get to that 1 string, you're gonna make that string sound good. Yeah. Just try that section right there, where you start doing like the thirds and then the tenths playing up. Can you hear how, like, as you get higher and higher, right? You're not going to the D string anymore.
Yeah.
Right? You play the 10th, and then you're like, you're just not going that far. So D, duh. You gotta go all the way up. Right? And don't speed up. Crescendo, don't speed up. Go to the top. Okay, one more time. That's the right idea. Can you write that down? Just to make all the strings speech, especially the lower string, and then use more bow, right? More and more bow on each note. So like you go from like 2 inches to 2.3 inches to 2.5 inches to 2.9 inches to 3.5 inches to whatever, and then by the end you're using almost your whole bow. That's like half bow, and then for sure the whole bow. Sure. Okay, do something next time. So remember, more bow when you come in. Kung Fu Oboe, right? With fire. So, Same thing. When you go boom, 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 when you have like a bunch of sticks in a row, your left hand just sometimes those fingers are just not quite on the fingers they need to be on. Like it's kind of a lot of switcheroos, right? With sticks, it's like the finger has to keep jumping to the other string, right? But you just gotta do it, right? And vary them a little bit. Dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da, and then da da. Again, you're not quite crossing over the scene with your bow or your left hand, right? It's like how much do you cross over? You just have to get all the way to the next string. Within that, you want to move as little as possible. You want to move more than you have to do, right? But you got to move at least enough, right? So can you go from there? Dee da 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 dee da 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 dee. Mark that left hand part. Da da dee da 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 da. Right? So you know exactly what it is. The next section, I like the sound you're getting. I remember we worked on it, right? Kind of vibrating like faster, right? When they're high points, so that B, and also the A, and the G, those are like really big points, right? So as fast as you're vibrating everywhere else, it has to be more there. And then more doesn't mean like you feel more, it means it actually has to be more. Right? So we're going, right? Like that speed. Right? Just more wiggles. Right? And that'll make it sound more like a climax. Yeah. Okay, can you try that? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Can you repeat that one more time? Yeah, no, I like this part. So just do that one more time. Oops, I was on mute. Okay, I just want to hear the first page and a half again to the tenths. Good news. Yeah, I mean, look, that's already better. That's already better, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get a little bit more comfortable with in this movement, right? So, when you play through it, yeah, basically, you play through it until you hear something you don't like, which might be after like one note, right? And if you don't like it, then you got to go back to before that note, right? And then you just got to go through it until you can go through that note the way you like a handful of times in a row, right? So, yeah, try to be very scientific about what needs to happen, right? So when you get this sound that's like kind of scratchy and kind of empty and the note's not speaking, right? For you, it's almost always because, yeah, either some other finger is touching the string or that finger is just not holding the string down enough, right? So it's pretty simple. And like, what you're doing might be very difficult, right? Sometimes it's like a tenth, sometimes it's like a crossing or it's a weird chord, right? But whatever your hand's doing, you were like this close from making it work really well, right? So you've already done the first 99%, but it's just that last 1%, right? Either you gotta like curve over it a tiny bit more, or you just have to or like the second finger is like in a weird position and you just need to hold it down a little bit better, right? So it's either that or the other finger just needs to curve over a tiny bit more, right? Or maybe the chord sounds good and you just have to vibrate it a little bit, right? They're all these like small little things, right? So just see it as like a bunch of very tiny adjustments you have to make, right? And they might not be the same adjustments every day either, right? I mean, they're probably similar, but try to figure out what they are. And for me, it's like when you've played these chords enough times, I sort of know what the problem's already going to be. So I just kind of like, before it happens, I just like adjust it before it happens, right? So, but you're still figuring out what those problems are, right? But try to get to that point too, right? Where it's like you sort of know, like this chord is like, this is where I always have that same problem. Like which finger am I not holding or which finger am I not lifting enough, right? And then just sort of try to like adjust it a tiny bit, just a little bit before it happens, right? So yeah, because I don't think this is beyond you at all, right? So I think, but you just need to sort of like dig into it a little bit more, right? And understand all those like tiny micro issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, if it feels like a lot to do, then concentrate on, say, one page at a time. I'm thinking one page when you sit down and say if you spend like half an hour or an hour on this, right? In that amount of time, you should be able to get one page like really good. Like, it's not that much music actually, right? So it's just like a handful of lines, right? So, yeah. So see if you can really like hold yourself to that level of confidence. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Sorry, I went over a little bit. So, but did you already have your exam or no?
Yeah, I did.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say good luck, but never mind. So I hope it turned out well. So, okay. I'll see you in Saratoga next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.